Hi y'all, so we have some exciting news coming both to global and Korea servers, right? So of course, today we will be talking about new units as you could expect from the thumbnail, right? We have news about three new units that will be released in the Korean server, as well as potentially a little bit of a teaser for a unit which I think will be released on global servers on the 28th of November. So first of all, let's talk about global, since that's what like 98% of the people actually play. And the first thing you need to know is the global version of the game is launching on the 28th. We're currently in soft launch for a month, right? But we will be getting a global version in just 10 days of you seeing this video, right? And the cool thing about that is the patch that will happen on the global version will most likely be on the 28th as well, because the previous patch has occurred on the November 14th, and since this game follows a 2-week patch cycle, the next one should fall on the 28th, which is kind of perfect in a way, because I'll explain why this works out to a teaser of the new unit. So now that we got global launch out of the way, let's look at their social media. So we're gonna be looking at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and there is a special video that the official Starseed Global accounts have posted today, and that is a little bit of a teaser for a new unit. And for those who have followed my channel before, you already know who this unit is. So her name is Sarah Pulsar. In the translations, the first letter was C, but I guess it's S here. So who knows really? But yeah, they have dropped a teaser for Sarah Pulsar, right? You can see in Twitter. You can see the same thing on Instagram. Their latest post, apart from the pinned ones, is this unit. And on TikTok, the same video as you have on Twitter has been uploaded, right? Now, there is a thing that their social media accounts have posted about Freya, the one with who looks like a captain, the pirate ship captain or whatever, right? So there's two teasers in total, right? However, the Sarah Pulsar one was a little bit more recent. However, the reason why I think Sarah Pulsar might be the more recent release compared to Freya, right, is if we look at the current rewards for the story mode on the Korean server, right, if we scroll back all the way to Sector 1, right, because this does not exist on the global edition, however, we do have the special reward in the Korea edition. I just reset that thing. Let me just scroll back in peace and I'll meet you there. Okay, and here's the Sector 1 one-time rewards, right? We're not looking at AFK rewards, we're mainly looking at the one-time rewards. And if you look at the reward for Stage 9, she is a free unit, she is a free SSR unit just by playing the story mode. Now, you do not have this on global because the unit is not released, but here's the reason why I think Sarah Pulsar will be the next unit on global instead of Freya, right? So just apart from the teasers, this sort of matches up with the global release, because imagine if they released Freya, right? That means this reward would not be present in the global edition, which means that they would have to add it after the release of the game, which means that they will have to distribute it. They won't be able to build enough hype about this unit if it's not free, right? Whereas if they release Sarah Pulsar in the story mode, this will be pretty much the first SSR, apart from I think like one or two that you get from the scripted thing, right? When it comes to story mode, Sarah Pulsar will be one of the first units, one of the first SSR units that you get in the game whenever you started out. And imagine how good of a release and a marketing scheme for them it would be if they release Sarah Pulsar in banner, right? Because I will say this, while she is, in my opinion, a pretty garbage unit, she is incredibly strong for like the first 10 acts, right? Before she starts, for the first 10 sectors, I mean, before she starts falling off really, really bad. So if you are someone who has already progressed through the game, honestly, I wouldn't recommend summoning Sarah Pulsar. However, I will try to make a video testing her out, right? But if you are someone who's just starting out with the game, You see this unit, you start using it, you will see that it AoE wipes everyone on the enemy squad, and you will be way more inclined to summon additional copies of her in order to skill her up. And unfortunately, that is the mistake that I have made with my account. I have been using her for quite a bit, but the further I went, the more she fell off, right? I built the Thief, I built Rachel, I built Frederica. All of them became way better. I mean, like miles above Sarah Pulsar. However, because I have invested a lot of skulls early on, she is at this point an LR1 unit for me. So while I wish I could reset this unit and claim all of the skulls back, unfortunately I cannot. So yeah, personally, if you were to build this unit, honestly I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really desperate for a green element team. But it would match the release of Global together with this banner really well, because people would receive that SSR, they would be more inclined to summon additional copies, and this would be just a great marketing perspective from Com to us to release both the banner as well as a free SSR, just to showcase that the game actually gives more rewards for the global launch instead of releasing them separately, right? And for the next part, let's review some of the news from the Korean side, right? So this developers note, usually they release developers notes once a month, which gives you a preview of what is coming next, right? I've read through it, there's really nothing too crazy game breaking, right? Like apart from just usual bug fixes, quality of life changes, there really isn't much, right? I believe Global even has some additional features that Korea does not yet. However, they have teased us 3 new units that are coming this week in November. So in 3 days, we're actually getting a new unit in the Korean server, which I will make sure to test out. And for the December, we are getting 2 more additional units. So if we scroll down, we can see for November, we already have Madelites who just released like a week or 2 ago. There will also be a new Proxian during this week in November, and on top of that we are getting 2 more Proxians in December. So you can see the graphics here, right? What I've done is I also giving you like a preview of the English translation of this. Again, this is used this is like translated with Google Translate, so the descriptions might not be as accurate, the names will definitely not be as accurate, because you can see that it already failed Madelite's name, and I'm not even gonna attempt to justify this name. Right, so for this one we can see a little bit of a description, right? A leader of the military industry that develops and supplies new weapons for Stings. Just based on this, I'm guessing this could be something like a ranger slash fighter type, right? Definitely more offensive type. Doubt it will be a support, however it could also mean that, I mean, maybe she supplies like offensive buffs, something like that, but my guess would be again, military industry, usually something ranged. Again, militaries don't usually fight with swords, right? So yeah, my best guess is she would be a ranger tough of some sort. Now for the ones coming out on December, new Proxian Karen, that name is not giving her justice, but unfortunately that is what it is. A monk who once wandered around without believing in science, but who repented? I'm not even sure that is a word. Repented his past mistakes and came to have deeper faith than anyone else. Based on that description, I'm gonna guess she is gonna be a tank, maybe a support, right? I mean a monk, like that in itself means peaceful, right? So either a support or a tank would be my guess. And then another one, Amy. This one I think it might have actually nailed the name, right? I mean, Karen, Amy, I can see having, right? A dream of problem students created by Frederica. This is the red-haired dark element girl, for those who are unaware. The blue cherry blossoms firepower supporter, right? I'm not sure if that's a mistranslation or just part of her name, but just based on that, I'm gonna guess she's gonna be a support type, right? So yeah, that's the 3 new units that we have coming out in Korea. I will make a video both with her skills as well as just testing her out in general. once we have some more news. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you are excited for Serapulsa's release, if she were to come during the 28th of November, right? Or whether you are someone who would prefer Freya as an alternative option, because that's at least the 2 teasers that we've had so far. And yeah, that's about it, and peace.